Hi everyone, it's Nicole Spohr and welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to be sharing another STAMPtember video with you. This is STAMPtember 2022 and I am going to be showcasing some new products from the Simon Says Stamp September 1st release. This is the Simon Says Stamp branded products, and of course I had to use these darling holiday ornaments. I absolutely love them. I am a sucker for cute images, and I thought it would be really fun to pair these with some sort of an idea for creating a greenery background like the ornaments are hanging in the branches of a Christmas tree. And I kicked around a lot of different ideas before settling on something that I've actually done recently over on the Simon Says Stamp channel, where I kind of created a debossed look by applying distress inks to an embossing folder and embossing it, and it really creates an amazing background. So I'm going to be using a previously released embossing folder with these brand new products today. All of the products are from Simon Says Stamp. So I did start out with just a few ornaments. These cards, sometimes your idea in your head, you know exactly what you're going to do. Sometimes your project may deviate a bit. This is one of those projects that deviated from where I thought it was going. I loved all the ornaments, but for some reason I couldn't get it out of my head that I thought only one was going to look good, and I knew that was wrong. I should have just known that was wrong right from the beginning. And I generally like about three to five images, I would say, if I'm going to do, especially let's say a hanging ornament type of card. There's lots of different ornaments out there. 3 really looks nice. An odd number is going to look nice. I am coloring in my images with Copic markers. All of the markers I'm using are listed in the description down below the video here on YouTube, as well as underneath the photos on my blog, so you can check that out if you're interested. After I color in our Rudolph and our Frosty here, I will be stamping some additional images for our cards. Now I did die cut. How about I stamped first the little mistletoe or holly berries, whatever, twice, so that I could put one on each card. I knew I wanted to add one to the snowman, and I thought it would be cute on Rudolph as well. And these are not going to be on the same card. One card's going to have Santa and Rudolph, and one is going to have a snowman and the ribbon wrapped ornament. I will also be stamping 2 of the peppermint images to color in. And I've sped up the video just a tiny bit here as I am coloring to get through this part a little faster, because it is quite a bit of coloring today. So as I start coloring in Rudolph, I quickly realize my E40 marker dry again. So I am going to refill that off camera, and then I'll come back and kind of fix it all. I did move on to adding the rest of my colors, and I noticed, luckily, before I go and fill E40, E44 is also a little dry. So I am going to go refill these markers, and I will be right back. A little frustrated with my markers being dry, but that is okay. And I did end up coloring those. And then I think I'll add just a little more of the E43 into the face before blending out with E40. And of course, once it's refilled, it colors so much nicer. Love these ornaments. I want these ornaments for my tree. I think they're so cute. Now, to add to the sparkle Christmas holiday feel, I did add some little dots with the Stardust glitter pen. I'm going kind of mostly around the perimeter. I'm not going to cover the whole thing with this, but just to give a little bit of that sparkly, glittery type of ornament look, I'll be using a white pen to add a few little highlights to my images here and there. Not to every part, but just little bits to help with that glow of a Christmas ornament and also the sparkle feel. And I will be doing this not only for these 2 images here, but the 2 remaining images and the 2 peppermint images that I will be stamping here in a minute. Once I've die cut my images, I will take a black jelly roll pen and add detail to the eyes. I feel like eyes always look a little flat when stamped with ink, but I don't like to do the jelly roll pen before die cutting, as I feel like just the rolling it through the die cutting machine flattens that black ink a little bit. So I tend to wait till I've die cut the images and then I will add that. And then I'm even going to add in some white highlights for the eyes once that jelly roll pen is dry. E00, 11, and 13 are the colors used for the face on Santa. He's got a beard. I'm going to do some light colors of warm gray for both the beard, the pom-pom, and the brim of his hat. And then we will do a little red for his hat, of course, the rest of his hat. And I did red and white peppermints. Really traditional with my colors here. Little dot detail for his beard. I opted not to do the feathering technique for the beard. Oftentimes, if I'm doing a gnome or a Santa or something with a beard, I will do more of a feathering technique. For the ornament, I didn't really feel like that fit, so I just added some little dots instead, and then we'll go in with our Stardust glitter pen and add some glittery dots. I'm using R35 and R37 or R46, kind of a combination for my red color. I'm going to do all the red for my peppermints first, and then I'm going to go and add a little line of warm gray 3, and then another little line of warm gray 1, and blend out with the colorless blender. While I have my reds out though, I might as well go ahead and do that big beautiful bow on this ornament. I want this particular image to have a lot of color because it's going next to the snowman. And the snowman ornament, obviously I wanted to keep that kind of more white, and it doesn't have a ton of color to it. I did use some blue markers around the edge to give it that frosty feeling, but I think we definitely need a big, bold, colorful ornament next to it. There's that line of warm 3, line of warm gray 1, and then the colorless blender, which perfectly kind of mutes that line a little bit. Looks so good. And then I forgot to stamp the other peppermint, but I promise I'll do that here off camera. And this is the Stardust glitter pen. We're going to glitter up the brim of the hat, the pom-pom, the beard, our peppermints, and our big ball ornament after we colored in with some green markers. I'm going to use G21, 24, and 28 for my ornament today. I'm really loving this color combination. I haven't used this particular color combination a ton in the past. I would say in the last 6 months or so, I've used this one a lot more. It's funny how you go in phases, but I'm liking it for Christmas. I think it's a really good one for the holidays. I'm going to go over the whole thing with G21 first, then go in with G28 and add that dark, and then we're going to go in with G24 and blend the two out. So in some of the smaller areas, it's really going to be more just G24 and G28. That nice little undertone of G21, however, gives some nice highlighted areas. And then I'm going back with G21 here. Stardust glitter pen, again for the ornament, I kept it off of the ribbon. And some cool grays for the top of the ornament. I'll die cut the images with the Coordinating Holiday Ornaments dies. The hangers for my ornaments, there is a stamp in the stamp set. I opted not to use it. Instead, I'm going to take the coordinating die and I'm going to die cut that hanger using some Simon Says Stamp matte silver cardstock. This is the Holly Branch 3D embossing folder from Simon Says Stamp. I'm taking the small round detail blending brushes, some Rustic Wilderness Distress Oxide ink, and on the raised area of the embossing folder, I am applying the Rustic Wilderness ink with this small brush. I think these small brushes are perfect for this because you can really get in the little nooks and crannies. Now, is this going to be a perfectly colored background? Might there be some areas that are you know, the ink smushes out a little bit? Yes, but it is so pretty. You guys, I absolutely love this technique. I did this over on the Simon Says Stamp YouTube channel, so definitely check that out for a happy birthday card using the September card kit. And I used a lot more colors. So you can use a couple colors like I'm doing today or a whole bunch. I did reactivate the ink with a mini mister. I spritzed it about twice. I placed a piece of 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch fog gray cardstock from Simon Says Stamp right on that image, ran it through my die cutting machine, and debossed the images. It is going to be gorgeous with our ornaments against it. Now, what I found worked best, I thought I could just re-ink the embossing folder and do it again, which I did off camera. Well, actually did film it. I just deleted that footage. It was a smushy mess. I think there was still a little too much water on my embossing folder, and so it didn't come out as crisp and nice as the one I just showed you. My recommendation, you probably saw me there before I started re-inking my embossing folder, clean your embossing folder off with a dry cloth or a paper towel, and then re-ink it. Re-ink it, put another piece of cardstock in, and run it through your die cutting machine. And you're going to get a beautiful, perfect background. So I'm just going to carefully again put my 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch panel of fog gray cardstock in, run it through, and look at that. Oh my goodness, you guys, this is my new favorite way to use these embossing folders. I love the look. So now that we have our backgrounds, we can take our ornaments and kind of see how they're going to look. And I decided we definitely need some snow on these branches. So I have a splatter box. I already have some white gouache left in my splatter box from, you can tell, my Halloween cards. I haven't cleaned anything. And I'm going to go ahead and just reactivate it with a little bit of water and splatter my backgrounds with this white gouache. And I did a pretty heavy application. I think it looks really nice, gives it that nice snowy look. And I'm going to do this all over the background. It's a pretty small splatter. And I'm going to let these completely dry. I let mine air dry before I go ahead and adhere everything to my cards. So we'll set those aside. And while I'm waiting, I am going to stamp my sentiments. Now, I actually had let mine dry for a little bit and I came back, so this is a little bit later. And I have picked some sentiments from the brand new Christmas Blessings stamp set. This is a entire sentiment stamp set. I'm going to stamp kind of the stacked vertical greetings in the upper right corner of the card, and I picked 2 different ones. On the snowman card, I stamped Joy and Peace from Our Home to Yours. On the Santa and Rudolph card, I'm going to stamp Wishing You the Most Wonderful Holiday Ever, and I'm using Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated ink in the color Pine. I wanted it to kind of blend into the background, and I thought that looked really nice. Then for our larger greeting, I'm going to take a piece of white cardstock, and I'm going to stamp Merry Christmas and Season's Greetings from this Christmas Blessings stamp set using VersaFine ONYX black ink, and die cut my greetings with the coordinating dies. Now it's time to put it all together. I am going to speed it up just a little bit because I am using, you guys guessed it, foam adhesive to attach my ornaments. So I want to kind of create this virtual triangle with my ornaments. I have one hanging low, kind of along the right side. We're going to do our other larger ornament kind of over to the left, just slightly shifted over to the left. And then we're going to place the peppermint kind of underneath part of that image. I am hanging each one. I only die cut the hanger twice from the long and twice from the short because part of it hangs off the edge and I can use that leftover little piece to hang the peppermint ornament. So that's how I got away with that and didn't have to really waste too much cardstock there or die cut additional hangers. I think it would be cute to maybe take some ribbon or a thin twine or something, and you could totally hang your ornaments with some actual very thin, I'm thinking like, pardon me, excuse me, crochet thread or, like I said, a thin twine. I'm going to add the little holly berries there to the ear on Rudolph and also to the head of the snowman. We're going to glue our sentiments right down to the background, trim off anything hanging off the edge, place these on white top fold card bases, and our cards are completely finished. So much fun. I did go in and add the little white highlights here with my white jelly roll pen, and I think that just finishes off these darling, darling holiday ornaments perfectly. A little crystal lacquer on Rudolph's nose and Frosty's nose finishes it off. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for these holiday ornaments cards featuring brand new and previously released products from Simon Says Stamp. It is STAMPtember 2022. Please make sure to visit all of the stops during the blog party here. Lots of inspiration showcasing the brand new products from Simon Says Stamp. The supplies I used are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to my Patreon members. If you would like to become a member of Patreon, please click the link in the description below. We would love to see you over there as part of our growing community. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, click that like button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to always be notified when I have a new card making video. Here is another video featuring STAMPtember products that you might be interested in. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.